First niche is going to be I have selective hearing. You were not selected. All right, t-shirt. This is a simple text-based, like simple text-based t-shirt, all white text-based. It can probably look good on all, obviously change the font color to an all black text so it can look good on a white t-shirt. This simple, like sarcastic sayings do really good. Cute design for like obviously bad listeners, right? And again, I get the concept and the idea of like who it's targeting, just being sarcastic. So think of funny sayings on t-shirts that make people laugh. That's one way. That's a top selling niche. If you go to like any grocery store, you'll see people like older gentlemen or something like older gentlemen wearing t-shirts like this that make people laugh. I when I walk by somebody in the grocery store and I see like they have like a text-based saying on the t-shirt, I'll read it, I'll check it out. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a pretty funny one. But this one right here, it's as you can see, it's been up for 2019, but the BSR right now on this one's cranking and crushing. If you could see it, it's performing, it's doing really well. The BSR, it's the lowest it's ever been. Look at that, cranking, right? And see how low that BSR is. That means, there's a demand for it. It's making sales. Now, like, how can you, like I said, how can you come into a niche like this? And the idea is not to, you can see they have it on other products too. And then you're seeing other people that are like they're doing like similar design concept, right? And then that retro style, and then making it bigger and moving it around and stuff like that. But you would think of your own sarcastic saying right here, okay, when it comes to anything like this. And that's one way to go into a new niche with a lot of competition, right? Because if you do the same thing that everyone else is doing, you're going to be on page 10, right? So what's going to be different from this one right here that's already ranking in the algorithm and Amazon's pushing 2 years? It's going to be hard for you to that niche. So think of different sayings for this. All right, when it comes to doing research, guys, my favorite tool to use is Merch Informer. Come over here to product research on the left-hand side, and we can go over here to movers and shakers, okay? And this is a really, really awesome feature right here because it gives you pretty much all the newest selling t-shirts, right? And that gives you ideas for different niches. Like you can never run out of a niche idea, never run out of niches, right? Because here it's just giving you a ton of different ideas. So for example, like you can see like Cinco de Mayo, you got this testing day, right? That's a popular niche right now. And as I go down, there's just so many different niches that you probably would never even think about. Okay, so I'm gonna have my affiliate link down below in the description, and make sure you use my coupon code to give you a little bit of a discount. And next niche is gonna be rock the test. Okay, so test day. This is, for obviously it's like directed towards teacher and students. Okay, this right here, it's I found a few different types of t-shirts in this niche, but think of kids, testing and teacher shirts, stuff like that. It's really big. Different types of teachers, okay, or different, there's different grades for different students, right? So this is a big niche as a whole. So think of just people, the kids testing, rock the test t-shirt, motivational teaching. Okay, great gifts for teachers in an important test day teacher shirt. You can see what they did right here with the keywords. I added all that fun, cute information in there. But think of kids testing, right? If we come down here, we look at this right here. This was uploaded, go down right here, March 24, 2023. Okay, it was barely uploaded, okay, about a month ago, but look at it's cranking. It's making the BSR is pretty good, right? And all time, we look at the all time, come over here, the BSR, you can see that's getting traction, but then you see that you can see it kind of go down, right? And it's cranking and making sales as of right now. It's still cranking and making sales. 38K BSR, which is amazing. It's a really, really good. Make sure you upload to, men, women, and youth. Really important when it comes to, making designs for Amazon merch. And Redbubble, Etsy, this applies to pretty much any platform that you're selling a t-shirt on or any product, because it can work on any product too as well. Different products. I have popular products that do really well. I didn't even think they'll do that design will do good on that product, and all of a sudden it turns into a top seller. So think about that too when you're uploading these designs. Like, will these look good on other products? All right, next issue is going to be glow party mom. This design right here, which is a really cool design, right? So people like throwing like glow parties. When you look at this design, you can see how colorful it is, and like the little spat of paint on the back of like the design itself on the background. Now there was like glow party mom. You can think of glow party dad, and then think of like the actual person's birthday too. Now as we go down right here, you can see the BSR. It's cranking, right? It's pretty low. They have it on a few different products. Now let's see, uploaded. This is uploaded April 2022. So it's been up almost for a year. So it seems like when it comes around this time, it seems to, you know, pop off a little bit more. It was the 66 kbsr. That's as lowest it's ever been for my looking at this chart up here, the BSR chart, which is really good because that's crazy, right? So it's been up for a year, and you can see that boom, and it starts all of a sudden starts making a ton of sales with this. Look at Glow Birthday Squad, Glow Hard or Glow Home. Let's Glow Crazy, Glow Hard, Glow. Okay, you can see that the different right here. These are all sponsored products. But if you look at them, you can get different ideas. Glow Party Mom, Glow Party Squad, you know, a few different ones in here. Okay, so you kind of get the concept, get the idea, and the color concept that they got going on for these t-shirts. You want to keep that in mind when designing for this niche. Okay, all right, this is a new niche that I've learned about by doing research, right? And this is one of the cool things. So guys, when you're doing your research, okay, your own research, you learn a lot about like what people celebrate in the world, which is pretty awesome because it's like it's a cool thing to see what people celebrate and, you know, what they like to do. Purple up for Military Kids Month. Now, Military Kids Month is this month, April, okay? And you can see like the purple, obviously, right? And you can see this right here, this rainbow like leopard print right here it's a trending thing, right? But now they're mixing that trend with Military Kids Month. Okay, purple up for military kids, right? And with them doing that, there's something trending, and then something that's going to be a trending holiday, right? It's bound to determine like going to create a top selling design. So you can see it started made its first sale on the 4th of April, but then as you go, you're seeing that it's pushing below 100 kbsr and it's starting to rank into the algorithm. Awesome. And this was uploaded March 17th, 2023, 82 kbsr as of right now. And you're going to see other products related to this item. You're seeing what other people are doing. Remember that purple t-shirt too. You're seeing how people are using that purple t-shirt as a default mock-up, and they're probably just uploading it only to that color, and then maybe only uploading it to a black color, and you know, that's how they're, you know, they're uploading different designs. You can see like the different designs that are, you know, obviously popping up. So if you can think of an idea for you know, a Military Kids Month, this would be a good concept, a good idea to create something. Purple up for military kids. See what they did with the dinosaur. Anything that kids like, dinosaurs, stuff like that, unicorns, would be a good idea, I believe, inside of this. Now, this is a top selling shirt on Amazon right now because of Earth Day that's coming up. Okay, it's coming up on April 22nd. You have about 8 days until this day's over. Well, obviously to get it shipped to the customer, but I think this is probably going to be, it's going to be an all evergreen design, right? Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you can't design for this. You're designing for this right here. It's a simple text base. I've seen a few like it being in retail box stores. So I've seen a few pictures of that in a few groups. But when it comes to like a design like this, it's like you can make a few of them. Like people are making, I already know people are making like different layouts of them and different versions of them. And one thing is, you know, when it comes to any of this stuff, like you see everyone else doing it, you always want to double check for trademarks and copyright because that's really, really important. But for the most part, like what's going to make you different from, you know, this one right here. So one way to do that is to just design for Earth Day in general, okay, and think about the concept of like how they're using it, okay, recycle, reuse, renew, okay, rethink, and that's what they're doing right here. And I've seen a few people highlight the word cunt, C-U-N-T, and I think Walmart, from my understanding, I think Walmart took down the actual shirt because of that, I think. But if we come down here and look at this BSR and see when it was uploaded real fast, uploaded April 2nd, 2023. I caught it like the day after it was uploaded. I was like, what is this shirt? And I seen it, I was like, wait up, this is going to be a potential top selling shirt. And then once I seen that, I was like, wow, okay, it's cranking. I was like, okay. And then boom, next you know, I see it being shared around a little bit, which is, you know, it's crazy to see. It's simple text-based t-shirt, guys. Like, and this kind of proves like, it doesn't have to be, you know, the best design. It doesn't have to be some really detailed artwork. Okay, a simple text-based t-shirt can make you a lot of money if it's done correct. Okay? All right, next design is my son-in-law is my favorite child. Okay, this is just another simple text-based design, which is really cool. Text-based design, retro style. This is a newer design that was like trending and taking off. It had that newest released badge, but it went away. But it's still that it really doesn't matter because it's still cranky. This was uploaded this year, January 12th, about 3 months ago, 2023. Okay, but the BSRs is 22K, and as you can see, like, look at this bad boy. This thing's just flying off the shelves. If you look at that BSR, amazing, right? But now, like this is something like, how are you going to be different from everyone else? Because the text base, you know that everyone got a hold of it, and they're making different designs, different layouts, different styles, and it's like, do I come in here and chase this trend and try to get on top of it? That's really up to you, but like, think of different ways. My son-in-law, there's my daughter-in-law, you know. My daughter-in-law is my favorite child, right? Because it's more of a, you know, more of a general type of phrase, but that can be okay, and that's probably already done already, right? So I think it's just it's a cool saying, but the thing flew off the shelf and just started sales. So which is really awesome to see. Another simple text-based design that's cranking and crushing, and it's a top seller. All right, another thing that got my attention was so basically bunnies. Okay, Easter bunnies, like cute, you know, Easter bunny faces. You can see cute bunny face, and you can see the style, okay, of this bunny, right? The cute glasses with the little head top thing on, and just black sketch out, like a sketch out of the bunny face with the little whiskers. And okay, you're thinking that this is for Easter, and I was just like, you know what, this is more of a, and you can see the BSR, it's cranking. Let's look at when it was uploaded. Okay, March 5th, 2022, a month ago, right? Last month. But if you look at this, it's cranking. But then, you know, obviously when it started getting closer to Easter, it started making even more sales, right? Okay, but let's look at like the last 7 days. This right here, in my opinion, is probably going to be an evergreen niche. Okay, but every time Easter comes around, it's going to make you know, it's going to make sales. You see, Easter's already over. It already made a sale. Okay, and which is cool. So Easter's already over. It's already made another sale. Okay, so when it comes to, you know, this right here, this type of design, it's going to be an evergreen niche, but every time Easter comes around, it's just going to get a boost and sells even more. Okay, so keep that in mind when you see something like this. And let me show you another design. When you see, here's another design too, right? Okay, bunny face with sunglasses, and this is going to be the same thing. Okay? During like closer to the Easter peak time, it's going to freaking crank and make sales, but after, it's still going to make sales. Okay, so something to keep an eye on, keep in mind, because the design itself is an evergreen design, right? It says like, doesn't have like any eggs around it, and you can see how they did that. And here's another one that's, you know, it's cranking, making sales. Hasn't made another sale yet. After Easter, we have 2 designs that have done that. Here's another one. This one's a cool one too as well. Like you can see it. It's like, it's a cool design. It's like a cool evergreen design. Okay, so this one was cranking too, making sales. Hasn't made another one yet, but if you pay attention to that, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an evergreen design. It was uploaded January 29th, 2023. Really awesome, cool design. White t-shirt. This one's white t-shirt. There's a lot of the lighter colors, you can see, right? This more of the dark. So mixture of everything on there, more of the lighter colors. Bunny face. All right. Butterfly tree. Okay, this butterfly tree design, this one right here is cranking right now. Okay, it's just, you know, a tree with butterflies on it. And you can see the different colors that they have it uploaded to on Amazon merch. And then if you come down here, look at this BSR chart. It's just, look at this thing. This thing is just crushing. And the idea is like, what else can be done right here with this same concept? What other niches can be done right here? Okay, think of that, like birds, right? Probably mess around, put like sharks in a tree or something like that, right? You could probably mess around with that and it'll probably take off. But you can see like the different products with the design, but even with those other products too, you can see they're doing really well. Really cool. Tote bag got a review. Long sleeve, the raglan has some decent amount of reviews. The premium, right? It's cranking. If we come down here too, you can see that it was uploaded the 2019, August 14th with the BSR. 18K right now, which is crazy, right? Cranking, crushing. This butterfly tree, I don't know, just got my attention. I was like, dude, this is something that's interesting. Obviously, it has a ton of ratings, which is really awesome to see. Amazon seller with this many ratings on the list. But yeah, beautiful butterfly tree. All right, now we the people stand with a Donald Trump 2024 American flag. Now with Donald Trump, the political stuff I really kind of stay away from, but something like this, anything related around Donald Trump, and if you don't feel comfortable designing around Donald Trump, you don't have to, but like saying like general sayings like guilty, not guilty, anything like that that's related to the topic, but being like very general with the phrase, it's a good idea. A lot of people, like, you know, don't feel comfortable, you know, they support Donald Trump, but they don't want to blast it all over the place, and they just want a simple text-based saying. That's a good way too as well. But anything related around anything Donald Trump right now at the moment, okay, is going to do really well because he's like the popular thing in the news in the US right now. And if you look at this BSR, you can see like when they started talking about him, it's just cranking, making sales. The BSR is low, It's starting to go back up, but when something else, if something else happens again, it's going to go shoot straight back down and make sales, because that's just the way it works. August 13th, 2022, and the BSR right now 175. But something like this, okay, it's if you can figure out ways to come into a niche and like this and figure out a saying that no one else is saying, by maybe doing your research and just kind of going through the threads on Facebook or just even on like on Reddit, something like that. That's one way to find, you know, sayings that people are leaving a comment, and they're leaving a comment, and it can be, oh, that's a good idea on a t-shirt. That can be one way. I like murder shows, comfy clothes, and maybe 3 people. Okay, you know, that this, you know, some of this phrase right here has been used a bit, but murder shows, right? That's a very, very popular, like crime scene investigation type shows. It's a very, very popular niche. Okay, so like right now, like this was right here, this was one of the ones that I was doing research and I found like, wow, okay, this one's making a lot of sales and it's cranking and doing pretty good. Now you can see the design, the skull with the flowers, you know, it's a funny saying, right? It's a funny saying. It's for women. I can see this for women. It can also go for men too as well, I feel like. And if you come down, we look at this BSR, simple design too, nothing too crazy. But you look at the BSR, it was, you know, it's cranking. I probably found this design, this idea around the 9th, but you can see it's cranking, making sales 13k BSR 20. It's averaging around there, right? And it just still, it's going over the, see, since its first made its sell in 2022, it's staying really consistent. Okay. And this is obviously, this is not an Amazon merch on demand shirt. This is more of like a Seller Central person uploaded a shirt through there, making some sales. So come down here, September 10th, 2021, BSR right now 18k. So think of, you know, different ideas, funny sayings around, you know, crime scene investigation, murder shows, stuff like that, and that can be a top selling design idea for you. All right, here's another one. Vintage 2010 official teenager 13th birthday gift 13-year-old t-shirt. So 13 years old of being an awesome official teenager. Vintage 2010. Okay, so obviously 2023. Now think of this going into the future too as well. Okay, it's maybe, you know, you feel like it's too late to create a design for this niche, but you know, think about the next year. Okay, so vintage 13-year-old, and then you can think of different ages too as well, right? And that can and think about it that way. You can do different ages, and you do boy, girl, things like that. And it's a simple design, nothing too crazy about it, but it's like, you know, a birthday design. If we come over here and look at this, you can see that it started making sales towards the end of last year, December. But look at it throughout the whole year. This one design's probably, I don't know, it's selling anywhere between like 5 to 20 times a day. And it's going to continue like that, but it's ranking in the, you know, the algorithm. It's ranking in the algorithm, getting reviews, and it's cranking. November 24th, 2022, 42k BSR. And based on your recent views, you see it there. Related products, awesome since April 2010. See what they're doing here. But interesting niche, right? And this can be done for pretty much any age. So 14, right? You think of, if you're going to do 14, you got to do 2009, right? I believe so, 2009, yeah, be 14. And then so on and so forth for different ages. Think about it that way. What else can you do, and how can you get ahead of your competition?